Today I'm starting a transmission swap on my sister's 2014 Subaru Impreza. First we want to disconnect the battery, the negative battery terminal. I put a piece of tape just in case the wire went back. Then disconnect the two clamps for the intake and pull that out of the way. Don't disconnect the hose that's attached to it. Next I'm going to disconnect the two wire connectors right on top of the transmission there. And the bolt holding on the ground wire. Now I'm going to take the starter out. First I need to remove the nut off of this wire connected to the starter solenoid. Then I jacked up the car so it'd be easy to get to the other wire on the starter. If you look at the engine computer, there's a wire on top there that works exactly the same as what's connected to the starter. So you can see how that works. It's right in the back there. Then we need to take the bolt and nut off of the starter. You can see how it works on the replacement transmission. There's a nut that goes on here and a bolt that goes on here. Now I'm going to remove what I think is called the rock stopper. There are two bolts that need to come off, here and here. Next I'm going to disconnect the engine wire harness, remove the bolt, and then put the screwdriver in the slot on the connector there, and it releases the lever. Pull the lever back, and then you can pull the wire harness out. Then disconnect the other wire and put it to the side. Then we need to disconnect 3 wires on the one side of the harness. Put those out of the way. Then we're going to take these 2 bolts off. Now we're going to go underneath and remove the plastic shield. Take off the 4 bolts on the bottom. Then there's clips on each side, one there, and then just underneath there and there, and it'll be the same on the other side. Take that off, and then we need to remove the plug for the radiator and drain about at least 3 liters of coolant. To help with this, I'm going to remove the radiator cap so that it drains a little faster. I'll put it back on now that I have about 3 liters of fluid out, and then put the cap back on the radiator. Now we need to take this line off of the throttle body. Then remove the throttle body with the 4 bolts that hold it on. Then set it aside. Next, we need to remove the service hole plug. And then I'm going to remove a few plastic pieces here so that it'll be easy to turn the engine. I'm going to turn it with the belt. And so I'm going to turn it with the belt until the bolts line up with the hole. You can see it's turning in there. And then take out the 4 bolts with a 12mm wrench. For this, it's very good to use a 6-point socket instead of like a 12-point. Then make sure you can turn the torque converter through the hole you took the starter out of.